In this video, you'll be learning how to make a Google form. A Google form is just a tool that you can use to collect information from people. They can be used for surveys. They are connected to spreadsheets. So if you look here, all of the information that is entered into this form is sent to an adjoining spreadsheet. So it's kind of a nice way to insert information into a spreadsheet. So to make your own, we are going to go ahead and you need to log into your Google account. So you can see that I'm logged in here, and once you log in, you'll see this little array of squares. When you click there, this is all of the apps that are connected to your Google account, and we want to go to your Drive. Drive is just the renamed version of Google Docs, and it houses all of the documents that you can create in your Google account. So we're going to go ahead here and we're going to get started. And what I want to show you first is kind of the back end of the form that I just showed you. So here's kind of what the live form that you would share with people looks like. And here's what the back end looks like. So I just assembled each of these pieces separately, and I'll show you how to do that. So to get started, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to come over here to create, and you want to create a form. Once your form loads, the first thing you're going to be asked to do is to create a cover, choose a theme. So I'm going to name this just Sample Math Assessment. And you'll look here and you can see that we have all these different choices for our covers. I like bluebirds, so that's one I go with often. And if you decide that you don't really care for it later, you can always click here to change your theme again. Now, mine is set up to automatically create a separate spreadsheet that is also labeled Sample Math Assessment so that all the responses that come in go to this exact spreadsheet. So when we look here, here's the title I entered on the last screen, and now I can just do a quick description. So I might say something to my kids about, this is a quick check to see how you are doing in math. Please answer the questions, then click submit. Now, a trick, anytime you're using this with kids or even with families, if you don't want it to be anonymous, make sure that the first question that you include is a spot for them to make their name. Now, right now, this is set up, if you look right here, this is set up so that you are making a multiple choice item. So each of these, you can see that this is kind of a little box right here. Each item or question or field on your assessment is going to be in a different box. So the first thing we're going to do, we're actually going to switch this to text. And you can see there are a lot of different options that you can use to fill in on your chart. There's lots of ways to collect information. So I'm going to, for this particular problem, I'm going to have them just use text. I am going to make this a required question, so they have to type something in there before they move on. Now, the next thing on our agenda is to add a multiple choice question. So I have a couple questions ready here. How many right angles are there in a square? Now, I want to go back and make this multiple choice. So I've got a few options. I can do 3, 4, 2, and 5. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and most of the time they're okay. If you want to just make sure that they don't miss any, you can make it a required question, and then it's going to appear as a question with each of the numbers. You can also ask them questions where they would just give a short answer. So for example, you might ask them to describe a cube. How many vertices and edges does it have? And I want this to be kind of a short answer. So there's paragraph text. They're going to have to type a little bit. And so I've got a few different question types here. I had just a blank fill in, I have my multiple choice, and then I also have my short answer. The last thing that you might have noticed in the assignment that I made is that I had an image, a piece of a worksheet that was inserted. So to do that, if you notice down here next to add item, there's a little arrow. When you click on that, there are a bunch of different things that you can add. So here were our question types. kind of some more advanced tools here. And last, we have our layout options, and you can add in an image. So when I go to image, I can grab these off my desktop. I can find them online. I already have some albums made here, so I'm just going to pull one of these. And this is super handy if you have questions that involve maybe an image that you want kids to look at. So again, I've got to come back down here and switch this to multiple choice, and I'm going to ask, what solid figure is shown in the picture above? And I have maybe a sphere, I want to make that capitalized so it's consistent, a sphere, a cone, a cube, and a pyramid. And now I have a question that has an aligned image with it. So if I want to take a look at my live form, this is what it's going to look like now when I embed it onto a site or a different place. It has different questions that the kids can answer. They have to include their name, and then they can submit.